Knock it down.
15 minutes crash course, huh?
Right. So Reb Nachman, this is such a powerful piece, and I just picked out one paragraph within, because this one talks to me. So Reb Nachman opens up and he says, "Ve'im ato rochik ma'oid ma'oid mimanu yisbarach." If one is experiencing as if he's distant, very, very, very distant from Hashem, extremely distant. Ma'oid ma'oid is like, you can't imagine. And the world right now is experiencing Hester Panim on a deep level. All the tragedies, we were kicked out of the shuls, but on an individual level, being at home alone, being stuck, not having your regular schedule, being bored, one could feel very rochik from Hashem and from his true self, from his neshama. The nidma lecha, and it appears to you, sha'ata poigim b'chol sha'a mamish negdo yisparach, and it appears that every single moment of your day, your mamish, your opposite Hashem being poigim, you're sinning, you're damaging, you're blemishing, you're causing Hashem, so to speak, pain. Hashem wants to be close to you, and you're distancing yourself, and you feel like you're not helping. In kol zeh, with all of this, with all of these feelings of being distant, keneged zeh teda, opposite this, one should know, and one has to know, and one has to integrate this into themselves. She'ish kozeh, that a person like this, shu megusham kol kach, that is so materialistic and is so stuck in his taivas and his lower self, and is constantly snapping, constantly falling into a lower state of being. Kol tenua u'tenua shu menatik atzmei ma'at ma'at min gashmiyusa u'foine ba'Hashem yisbarach hi gedoyla v'yikara ma'oid ma'oid. Every single movement, every little thing that one does to pull himself away from being stuck in his lower self, being stuck in his taivas, being stuck in that lower state of being where you're so stuck and you feel so low and you feel so disconnected. Any little thing you do, calling a friend, sing a quick tefillah, putting on tefillin, one word of Torah, it's gedoyla v'yikara ma'oid ma'oid. It's so, so special and precious. It's beyond. And even one little nekuda, one little thing, meaning we have to celebrate the little things we do. We have to celebrate them. We have to appreciate them. In these times especially, but in general, we don't appreciate one moment of avodah. We don't appreciate one word of avodah. We don't appreciate what that does for Hashem, what oineg, so to speak, that gives to Hashem, what nachas ruach, and how. And Reb Nachman says, "Vafilu nekuda k'tana ma'oid," even a little bit, shu netak migashmi yusei elov yisbarach, that he removes himself from his materialistic self, from his gashmius, from him being stuck. Hu rotz bozeh kama v'kama alofim parsois ba'ilomoi sal yoinim. He runs thousands upon thousands of miles in the higher worlds. But in this world, one runs tremendously. We don't realize what one little thing does. We don't realize what that does to our neshamas, what that does to our relationships, what that does to our own personal self. One word of Torah, one smile, one dancing, one just being mechazik yourself. It's the biggest. We have no idea. And Reb Nachman continues, and through this, yismach ma'oid, through these little nekudas, through these little actions that we do, we should rejoice and celebrate them. V'chazik asmei b'simcha tamid. And we know, as Reb Nachman says, his famous line is mitzvah gedoyla liyos b'simcha tamid, that it's a mitzvah to be in a state of simcha. It's a mitzvah to be in a state of shleimus, feeling whole. Ezehu oshir, who is wealthy? People are losing money, but who's a real wealthy person? who's mesameach bechelkai, who's happy with his lot, who's satisfied, who knows and is living with that awareness that every single thing that happens to him is from Hashem and it's for the best. And he's living with that. These nekudas that we do, these little movements and anything that we can do in these times to strengthen that simcha is tremendous. Ki atzvus mazik ma'oid ma'oid, because Reb Nachman says that being stuck in atzvus, and atzvus, people think means depression, and it does, but it means depression for each one in his personal situation. Feeling in a lower state, being in a situation where one is not acting and not functioning the way he could be, not living in a place of shleimus, knowing that it's all good. And it's hard to maintain that. And if one does an action, you make jokes, you look at something, you jump around in circles, you do whatever it takes to make yourself in that state, it's the highest thing in the world. And Reb Nachman, and we'll just end off with this. Vida and know. And know, when one wants to engage and enter into a relationship with Hashem, and he wants to engage in a relationship, he wants to do positive in this world, he wants to. As I take if he at that time, immediately, one has to know that it is not a good thing to be stuck in a state of atzvus. And that means, and chas v'sholem, ki atzvus hi sitra achra, because atzvus, being in a state of depression, being in a state of anxiety, being in a state of feeling low, that all of that is negative energy. All of that is from the negative side. All of that is something that we have to try, especially in these times, to distance ourselves from. Hashem yisbarach soina l'isa, and Hashem hates it. And therefore, we have to know that not only are doing mitzvahs or trying to encourage a friend or smile at someone or send or reconnect with someone, calling someone up. Of course, that's huge. And we have to appreciate that. And we have to realize how big that is. But in addition to that, anything that we do in these times to distance ourselves from being in a place of atzvus, from being in that low state of being, is tremendous. It's the biggest thing in the world. It's the highest thing in the world. You are mitzvah gedayla liyos b'simcha tamid. We don't appreciate it. That means whatever it takes, whatever you have to do to maintain that, do it and know that it's the biggest thing in the world. Ein shum yeush ba'olam klal. There's absolutely no giving up. There's absolutely no such. What does it mean when Reb Nachman says there's no despair? Sometimes I feel despair. Sometimes I feel in a state of yeush. It means that it's not a true reality. And it's our own faulty perception of reality, because there is no such thing as being disconnected from Hashem. There's nothing that you can do that will take you away from being connected with Hashem and being connected with yourself. You're always connected with your neshama. You just have to re-engage. It's there. And anything we can do to help ourselves be in a state of simcha, l'chaim tovim l'shalom, and you have no idea how big that is. Mamish me'id bizoicha.